I'll tell you where the virtually crash-proof real estate investment opportunity is today. Short-term rentals are adjusting after struggles of oversaturation and communities cracking down on Airbnbs. Apartment buildings, they have economies of scale and other advantages over single-family rentals. Long-term, I like both types, but so much new apartment construction took place last year that all this new supply, it means rent growth is tough to non-existent on apartments. Some apartment owners are giving away 1 or 2 months of free rent for this reason. Then let's look at where the opportunity is. Hi, I'm Keith Weinhold, Get Rich Education founder, Forbes Real Estate Council member, and 20-plus year real estate investor. Single-family rentals, they are my favorite. They might have the best risk-adjusted return anywhere, and rents are more stable. So let's talk about that. Even after 2008's Great Recession, those that owned cash-flowing single families persevered through that period. In fact, I think you'll find it surprising when you see the number of factors here, the distinct advantages that single-family rentals have over larger apartment buildings, some of which you've never thought about before. First is tenant quality. Single-family rentals attract a better quality of tenant than apartments, and these tenants take better care of your premises. Then there's the neighborhood. Properties tend to be in a better neighborhood. Appreciation. Single-family properties appreciate better than apartments over time. Fourthly, they're more likely to be in a better school district. And as I go on, I think you'll be surprised as to how many reasons accumulate here. There is retention. Tenants stay longer, and that creates less vacancy expense for you. In fact, the neighborhood and the school district are the reasons that they stay longer. Then there are the common areas. Single-family rentals, they don't have any of these common areas to clean and maintain. Apartments have hallways, stairs, laundry rooms, and common outdoor grounds that a custodian has got to service. And this is another overlooked profit drag that apartment investors miss in their profit and loss projections. In fact, the first time that I bought an apartment building, I missed this very expense of the common areas. Then there's utilities. In single-family rentals, tenants often pay all of your utilities, and they even care for the lawn. The larger the apartment building tends to be, the more likely that you'll be the one paying utility costs, water, wastewater, electricity, heat, landscaping, everything. It's often all on you. Then there's divisibility. What if you've got property that's underperforming? Well, with 10 single-family rentals, you can sell the 1 or 2 that aren't performing. And with a 10-unit apartment building, you must either keep or sell all of the units. It's not divisible. Then there's fire and pestilence. Fire and pests are more easily controlled in single-family rentals. Even if you're adequately insured, these diffuse conditions, they often affect multiple apartments with common walls and their families. 10th is financing. This is big. Income single-family properties, they often have lower mortgage interest rates and lower down payment requirements than apartments. You can secure 10 single-family rental loans if you're single, 20 if you're married, at the best rates and terms through Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and 20% down payments. And then there are other loan programs where you can get more than 10 or 20 single-family rentals, although those financing terms are going to be less favorable than what you get on the first 10 or 20. Apartments rarely, if ever, have 30-year fixed-rate terms like single families do. A lot of apartment owners felt pain when their loans reset amidst these higher interest rates. They even lost their property. Well, that can't happen with single families when they're tied to conventional loans like they typically are. 1 unit up to 4plexes, you can get those conventional loans. Let's talk about vacancy rate. It's true that if your single family is vacant, your vacancy rate is 100%, and if your 4plex has 1 vacancy, then your vacancy rate is only 25%, but the same is true if you own 4 single family rentals and 1 is vacant. How about management? If you hire professional management, your manager would likely rather deal with higher quality single family residents. And if you're self-managing, well, this is a demographic that you would probably rather handle yourself. And as I'm fond of saying, the discipline is called property management, but a more apropos moniker is probably tenant management. But if you're self-managing and you've got, say, 10 single-family rentals spread around, well, that will be harder to manage than one 10plex. I favor hiring professional management so I can enjoy my life though. So though maybe not right away, over the long term, you'll probably want professional management too. But single families, yeah, they give you that better demographic of tenant to manage. Then there's supply and demand. I mean, there aren't enough low-cost single family rentals that make the best income properties. Demand vastly exceeds supply, and this should continue in both the short term and the medium term. We're just so underbuilt. Then there's market risk. I mean, this is another overlooked criterion. You must keep your properties filled with rent-paying tenants that have jobs. If you think you'll be able to buy, say, 10 rental units in the next few years, well, your 10-unit apartment building, that's only going to be in one location, leaving you exposed to just one geography's economic fortunes. And with 10 single-family rentals, you could have 4 in Jacksonville, 3 in Columbus, and 3 in Memphis. And then there's your exit strategy. This is big and often overlooked. Years down the road, when it's time to sell your income property, hopefully after years of handsome profits, there's a greater buyer pool for your single-family rental than your apartment building. More buyers can afford the lower price, and unlike apartments, you even have access to a pool of buyers that might want to occupy the single-family home themselves. It might even be your current tenant that wants to buy it from you. And in a recession, fewer people want to buy your apartment building because they need stability and rent-paying tenants. You could sell your single-family home to an owner-occupant. They don't need to make the cash flow numbers work. They don't even know what cash flow means. Well, there are 15 distinct single-family rental advantages. Again, I really like apartment buildings too. They could be my second favorite investment to single families, but this is a time in the cycle where single-family rentals really work. Zillow recently stated that single-family rentals are to become the new starter homes, appealing to those priced out of buying. Redfin specifically predicts that this year will be a good year for the single-family rental segment. That's because there aren't as many single families available to rent, while the demand for this type of rental is growing. If you'd consider getting started, don't let this be like two well-meaning friends that repeatedly say to each other, yeah, we should grab lunch sometime soon. That's a non-starter. You've got to put something on your calendar if you're really going to meet someone for lunch. You can't make any money from the property that you don't own. You can just copy me and buy where I buy. Get pre-qualified for a mortgage loan and find properties in the best markets through GRE Marketplace, our sister website. What you can do over there is get free help from one of our GRE investment coaches. They'll show you where the real deals are. They'll point you to some lenders that specialize in income property loans. They'll help you shop for an insurance provider, and they'll be your ongoing counselor. Our coaches make it easy for you. Most importantly, perhaps, is that they help ensure that you have competent property management in these investor advantage US cities so that this can largely be a hands-off investment that can generate long-term income for you. Because housing affordability dipped so low the past few years, fewer people can be first-time homebuyers, and they've got to rent from someone. It might as well be you. So I encourage you to get started. Book a time. It's free with one of our investment coaches. They're here to help you. You can do that at gremarketplace.com. I'm Keith Weinhold, and I'll see you next time. You can watch this one next.